don't wanna be friends. I don't wanna be friends. I don't wanna be friends. I don't wanna be friends. Can we start over again? Cause I don't wanna be friends.
Moving along to another thing that I want to talk about. Once you initiate, the deity can have more control over your natural feelings and modes of behavior than you normally do. Have you ever experienced this at all?
No. Have you?
No.
No. It's not like, again, this is not the movies, y'all. This is not, what's that show on Netflix? I love that damn show. They have a bunch of different shows. They got a bunch of shows on Netflix with some supernatural shit that keeps you entertained. It ain't that good, but it's entertaining, right?
Okay.
But it's not some parlor trick. Now, I will say, once you go through certain initiations, your head might feel cloudy, right? Because you're literally washing away the old you and trying to find out the real you internally, right? Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of that is when you initiate, it really is a rebirth. So I grew up Catholic. I don't recommend it, but I grew up Catholic, right? Went to Catholic grade school, high school, and on the south side of Chicago, and so did my brothers and sisters. And what I learned with the Catholics is that ritualistic understanding of when you become baptized is about you wash away the old and bring in the new, right? They took that shit directly from African traditional religions and other indigenous practices. So when you're initiating, you're going to feel different. So that cloudiness and uncertainty, that questioning of was it real? Did I just waste my money? You all of us, like after I had my second initiation, I couldn't read tarot for shit for a whole month. Like nothing made sense. I felt like I was going through some kind of emotional turmoil, right? But that's because I was literally washing away the old me that did not serve me. That the whole point of me being initiated to begin with, right, was to do that, to become anew. But it's not like the person that walks with me was somehow controlling me like I'm some zombie. That don't make no damn sense. But that's a fear tactic.
Some people, I'm not going to say no names, but I saw an Instagram post where somebody said they became a high priest of Haitian voodoo, and the spirits, they had to ask the spirits to like wash their ass. Then they had to ask the spirits, can they do their hair? Then they had to ask the spirits, can they like drink water? And then they had to ask the spirits, can they pray? I saw it on Instagram. I ain't saying no names, but I saw it on Instagram. And I just want to, why are you looking at me like that?
That sounds like Twitter. That sounds like white folks on Twitter. You wash your legs? Oh, I didn't know. That don't make no spirit. Why does spirit have to tell? Do y'all have the time in your day? If you had to control somebody else, if you were a mama, I ain't got time to sit there and have my child call me, Mama, can I wash my ass right now? Mama, can I eat? No, I birthed you to have you be a full human being. So if we think about initiation and spirit, if you're being rebirthed, you're not being rebirthed for them to be able to control you. They got enough shit to do with their life. They're rebirthing you to learn how to do those things on your own. Who gives a damn about if you can't wash your ass? Who wants to be with you anyway? Spirit, dead or alive?
I feel like I'm wondering, does anybody on my chat know what we talking about today? Because I saw a whole bunch of shit going down that I ain't got nothing to do with. But I ain't gonna say shit other than like I just saw something. I saw a whole bunch of stuff on Instagram today, and then somebody sent me a Tumblr post that was trying to pull somebody out the paint, and it was about some Haitian voodoo shit. And I said I ain't got nothing to do with this. I don't know nothing about this. But then we had a conversation earlier. I said I ain't saying shit. But I was just wondering, do y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, hit the skull emoji if you know what I'm talking about. Because if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay.
I'm done.
I don't want no shit.
Don't start no shit. Won't be no shit.
Okay, I ain't starting no shit. But all I'm finna say is there was some shit going down in the community, and I just know it was a whole look. I timed out someone on accident. Oh shit. Okay, well never mind. They don't know. Okay, that's cool.
That's okay.
That's okay. Some people think that it's okay to work with all of your ancestors, even the ones who are deviant, criminal, or of low vibration. What are your personal thoughts and practices about that?
I don't fuck with folks who don't fuck with me, including ancestors, right? So I don't. y'all gotta realize that spirits that had
Spirits, not Orisha.
not Orisha. Spirits are too close to the living for you to be messing with fuckboys and people in your life who weren't that good to begin with, right? You have to know when you're calling folks down and what for. Now, if you have an uncle or a granddaddy or a great granddaddy you know was a great gambler or could make some good moonshine or was a hustler, and you need to make some quick money, then you might work with them.
Okay.
Right?
Because everybody got a role.
Everybody got a role.
Everybody has
case by case basis, right? But if you trying to, like, I don't know, be on the straight and narrow and like have a good wholesome life, you ain't gonna call your hustling uncle down to help you with that.
Well,
unless you need some quick money, you know what
I mean,
you know what I mean?
It's true.
That's what it is.
If I'm trying to complete my dissertation, I ain't finna get my hustling uncle.
No, you right now, and also think about this, like, depending upon your lineage, you might have folks in your lineage who are racist as shit. So why am I going to call down my great-great-granddaddy, who might be some white dude from England, who, looking back on it, would not have approved of my daddy's relationship with my mother? You know what I mean? So, like, there's also discernment has to come. So discernment's a key practice for me of ancestral veneration. Do you know your ancestors? The ones you call down by name, are you very clear? Are you very clear in your intentions? Do you say, I'm only calling down those who walk with me in the light, my benevolent ancestors, the ones who ride for me, the ones who will always be there for me? You got to be specific in your intentions so that you don't call everybody their mama down, right? Who might just be there because they're tricksters, who actually like the havoc and the chaos, because chaos is a spirit too.
Yes, it is. Chaos is a spirit. It's known as Jesus Christ.
I'm done. Well, he's slow, so I don't know. Chaos is a little quick. I'm just saying.
My next question is, in your opinion, why does Nene Leakes wear those white t-shirts all the time? In your opinion, why does Nene always wear white t-shirts? What did your intuition tell you?
Why are y'all messing with this man? What is this? I'm not answering that question. I'm not answering that question. No.
Okay, well, all right.
I don't know. I mean, she could at least have two of them, but it seems like just one. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, well, what
do y'all think Nene has that one shirt on all the time?
Yeah, why do y'all think Nene has that one white t-shirt on all the time on Instagram? Why do y'all think that is? In the meantime, do you feel that some practitioners act as gatekeepers of African traditional religions?
Yes. I think especially in the U.S. I think in the U.S. because we're hungry for connection, we're hungry for roots, we're hungry for the ability to say where we come from outside of a certain narrative, right? Outside of the enslavement narrative, outside of whiteness and the state's understanding of how we are and where we come from. Mm-hmm. I think we're longing for that kind of what we call authenticity.
Right.
But I think that's a fallacy. And something I've been playing a lot with is, what if we just accepted as a people that what we call the United States right now is our land, is the land in which we occupy, is the land in which we draw spirit from, is the land in which our ancestors literally commingled, worked this land, had to learn this land, right? Had to understand the nuances of this land in order to survive. What if we accepted that reality? Accepted the reality that there is no authentic core, no purity, that purity is a concept that we have been taught to buy into, because that is what the colonizer, what the settler, what whiteness has told us is authentic, right?
Right.
While at the same time being seen, the practice of it is that this is who we are right now. So this idea of authenticity and having to go back somewhere, I get it. But for me, the going back is here. The going back is understanding when our enslaved folks came over here and they worked with, struggled with, fought with the indigenous folks here. And they died on this land. And our ancestors literally commingled, creating new systems, creating new cosmologies, ways of ordering the world. This is where we have hoodoo. Hoodoo was a religion at one point. If y'all are interested in that, read Mojo Works, right? It's a great book that really talks about hoodoo by Catherine, what's Catherine's last name? She's an anthropologist. Catherine, Catherine something, but it's Mojo Works, M-O-J-O, then Works. It's really accessible, and it's a really good way to understand how hoodoo went from like a religion into more of a just a regular practice in the South, right? But I think hoodoo and voodoo and all these different practices tell us that there's no need to gatekeep to the old, because the old is now here. The old is the new, which is the old again. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
You know what I mean? So for me, when you be careful, if someone wants to gatekeep and tell you that there's only one way to do something, one way in these traditions that have multiple houses, multiple ways of knowing and being, because we are humans that are very flexible, because the land which we occupy has been flexed. I think those who want to gatekeep it are talking more about their own insecurity than their actual practice of the spirit, right? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
So I think if someone wants to gatekeep and tell you it has to be done this way, or they come into their own practice very quickly, like have gone different and multiple initiations in less than say a 2-year period, that really,
Whoa!
No, but I'm serious. You see many folks who literally speed through initiation.
I heard.
You know what I mean? But this is a practice of time. People take a lifetime to come into fully understanding what it means to be liberated, what it means to be enlightened, right? The speed by which you go through does not somehow prove or disprove your ability to do spirit or be in a religion, right? It's more about understanding that to gatekeep means that, again, you're going against the practice of community, the practice of ancestor veneration, the practice of collaboration. So if you're going against these kind of core fundamental practices, the African traditional spirituality, question the practice and question the practitioner who wants to uphold that way of practicing. So again, discernment. So that the one thing you can ask for, don't ask for patience, don't ask for...
Why not?
Because patience is going to always be that you got to learn patience somewhere.
Why can't you... What's wrong with asking for patience, man?
Because patience is going to make you real patient. And while you're being patient, shit's going to keep on going.
Okay, so what should you ask for?
Wisdom and discernment.
Why?
Because if you have the wisdom, you will understand how to use the patience. If you have the wisdom, you'll be able to understand and see past the immediate now to the future so that you can make your way and plans. And if you have discernment along with it, you'll be able to tap into your intuition, tap into that actual inner person within you, your Ori on top of here, awaken that to help guide you so that you can see who actually is a true practitioner versus the gatekeeper who is what Judas behind the mask. You know what I mean? Like, you want discernment and you want wisdom. You don't want patience. Patience is a bitch. But discernment and wisdom will show you the bitch before it actually comes.
Yeah, one of my friends said that when you pray for patience, God puts you through tests to be patient, to learn patience.
That's all you're going to do is be a patient fool your whole life.
And he says it's best to learn wisdom so that you know how to operate, and discernment so that you know when to operate.
Yes.
And so I agree with that. And,
yes.
And this friend was Christian, and he told me not to pray for patience.
No.
I mean, but I want to talk about you and your Orisha. Like, can you talk about what your relationship is like with your Orisha? Do you love them? Is it a personified relationship? Are you romantic? Like how does your relationship with your Orisha work? Yeah. I guess it's a really broad question. It's not really leading anywhere, but I guess, how does your Orisha communicate with you? How do you know when your Orisha is trying to tell you to do something?
Talk with something.
Yeah.
It's my gut.
And you're good.
My gut, my body reacts.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it's the past few months in particular, I've learned more about my deity, like the one that walks with me, right? And I think what I've learned is that I push that part of me deep down, that I'm learning how to embrace that. I'm learning how to embrace the other side of me that is much more the leader, that's much more the warrior, that is much more the one that is okay taking charge, right? And not seeing that as somehow anti-feminine. So I'm learning how to, because I'm a big woman, right? I'm 6'3", I played college volleyball, when I was lifting weights, I can lift, and so my physicality and my actual physical body always made me shy away from being also strong in other places, because I walk into a room and I'm already seen as intimidating, right? I'm already seen as somehow not feminine. So this idea of embracing being this kind of warrior, being this kind of like strong leader, meant to me in my head was I was anti-feminine, right? And that's a really bad way to think of it. So learning my deities helped me understand things like the law of balance, right? So how there has to be a balance, left and right, up and down, masculine, feminine. We have to learn the art of balance so that we understand how we then embody that balance in our own lives. So I've learned that my deity talks with me literally in my head and my gut. So I'll have these thoughts that rapid fire in my head. And when I started writing in a journal, like you told me to, like just write things down in a journal, it became really clear that my deity was talking to me all the time. They're literally helping me navigate my day, being able to kind of do that future thinking for my job and bring it on back. Being able to take backlash that I've had the past few months for making decisions, right? Being a leader. So I work with them that way. I work with them with my Baba as well. My Baba has the same, person that walks with him. So he's teaching me as well. My God brothers teaches me. But it's a cool relationship. I feel like, it's like another father or another parent teaching me how to be who I am. And I take it as a very loving relationship where there's also a lot of patience on their part, right? A lot of patience as I learn and as I kind of mess up sometimes or can't hear clearly or kind of move this way and that. I'm also learning what unconditional love looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is hard. I have a kid as well, so I'm also learning how to give unconditional love at the same time. And so it's not a coincidence as my child has gotten older. And at that certain point when them kids get really annoying between 3 and 5, when like you just want to be like, will you shut the fuck up already? Like I told you this shit already. It's like it dawned on me that during that time is when I also get my own path, so I'm learning how to be a better mother too. So I'm not passing down those generational things that don't make no sense as well. So I see it also as a growing part of me being a better mother was that I had to learn how to be a better warrior. You know what I mean? That balance.
Yeah, because being a mother is a war. Like you have to, just as much as you have to nurture, you have to fight and protect.
You gotta fight.
So is destiny the gatekeeper in African spirituality?
No, I don't think so. Not if you don't see destiny as fixed.
True.
Right?
That's
so
true.
I guess
it true. It
yeah.
depends on the perspective of how you see destiny.
Yeah, well, how do you see destiny? And for me, I see destiny as many paths. Right? So destiny is not just one path. You can be destined to do multiple things, but then we still have the ability to have choice, right? And so I think destiny gives us the road. It's like destiny is almost like Elegua, right? Or the road opener. Like there's multiple roads one can open and close. But we have the ability to be able to come in and go through them in different ways. I don't know. I don't see it as a gatekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I see it as a possibility maker. And I think we're scared of possibility making. I think we're scared to dream of different possibilities outside the norm. I think that's the problem we have. We're scared to dream. We're scared to vision. We're scared to imagine different ways of being, different worlds operating at the same time, right? And it's amazing when you can actually open your mind up and see different ways, like different possibilities of being. You can be X, Y, or Z. And it's not either or, but it's like literally a both and. It's a fluidity that I think as humans, in this kind of context, in the world we live in now, because we're taught and disciplined to only see black and white, up or down, right or wrong. We don't ever see the and the between, the breaks that happen between them, right?
Right.
And I think for folks who are interested in kind of reading about this stuff, this is where things like within Black studies, Afrofuturism teaches us this kind of stuff, right? Or Octavia Butler's work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you like reading fiction, read Octavia Butler. Like I think that's a good introduction to kind of what possibility making looks like and witchcraft.
She wrote down her life in a literally wrote her
life. She manifested her life.
Exactly. But anyway,
she predicted Trump. in one of her books, I think it's Parable of this, one of the Parable books, I believe, or one of her series, one of the candidates, and then she wrote this like 30 years ago. The slogan was "Make America Great Again."
Oh, damn!
Right, like, you know, something to that similarity.
Yeah.
So like, but she was a, so read Octavia Butler, y'all. Get y'all's reading together with Black women. But I think it's the possibilities that scare folks. So we'd rather do the binary and think that it's a gatekeeper instead of realizing that it's a world opener. You know?
No.
So that if we expand our mind, it's really crazy. If we expand our mind, we can actually see a different way of being, a different way of understanding how we organize with ourselves, a different way of understanding how we see each other, of how we can operate in different economies. Like right now we're being told that it's only one or two ways. You can vote Republican or Democrat. You know, you can get KFC or Popeyes. You know what I mean? Like everything is a binary that limits our ability to actually dream together. Mm-hmm. And so we think we must gatekeep, going back to your first question, because if destiny is a gatekeeper, then who gatekeeps the gatekeeping?
Let me see if I got any questions on the chat.
Yeah. Let's go.
I'm trying not to get turned up and say something about somebody. Okay. Okay. Okay, Fayende said, what? Okay, that's a good thing. Negzo is loving this. You damn right I'm loving this. I don't know why I feel like crying. Woo!
Aw, I hope it's a good thing, though.
Justice delayed is justice denied when it comes to patience. What are y'all thinking? Do y'all have anything to say so far? What do y'all? We want to get some of y'all's opinions. What's
up? Are y'all enjoying this? Is this too dry?
What hell?
It's my first live.
Well, you know, trust and believe. Look, this is definitely not dry. Like, I can tell you that for sure. Mm-hmm. But what? Popeyes dead. Oh God. Well, you gotta laugh it. That's what I'm here for. But y'all know I'm loving this. Because at the end of the day, I love intellectual shit and I love smart ass people, and I keep smart ass people on this MFN channel. Okay, so King Kale said, I'm loving it. I love this sophisticated Sunday, and I'm glad y'all are loving it.
I'm glad.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm high as hell.
Hey,
look, open that pineal gland. You got to get it how you live.
Yeah, you do.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, it's legal in some states.
It sure is. I got my medical marijuana license.
Tina Tess, it's a good cry. Cry it out.
Good.
Parable of the Sower.
That's what it is. Thank you. Yeah. One of the Parable series.
Thank you for Yende.
Thank you.
Thank you, Priestess. All right. So we're gonna before we get into some real messy shit, I got one last wise question to ask you. Okay, so this is a phrase that you have that I'm completely fascinated with.
Okay.
You need to have Pluto in discernment. Mm-hmm. You need to have Pluto in discernment. Okay, everybody say this with me. I have Pluto in discernment. This is our new phrase, Pluto in discernment. We are co-opting it from Nicole. And yes, I am Lizzo, and I'm not giving credit. Bitch. Okay, so...
Until you get double sued.
Not speaking that on my life. Because I know she can do it. Okay, What does it mean to have Pluto in discernment?
Okay, so what I meant by that was, so this is some basic astrology that I know. You've got fast planets and you got slow planets. Like planets meaning how far you can go around the sun. And so one of the slowest planets is Pluto because it's the farthest away from the sun. And so when you think about when you're praying for discernment and how long you want it to last, you literally want you want Pluto to be in discernment. You know what I mean? Like you literally want discernment to be this thing that comes in and it takes years as it works its way through your chart, so that when that cycle ends, it becomes literally the a thing that you just do like you're breathing. You know what I mean? Like you've had those lessons for it's a generational thing, right? And I think that's what I meant by that, right? You don't want it to be fast. You don't want it to be one-off. It's like you want discernment and wisdom to like literally sit in your bones, so that when that cycle is done, you have learned it and you breathe it like second nature.
if I was an initiate of West African voodoo in 2006 and became a high priest of Haitian voodoo in 2018, is my Pluto in discernment?
No. Well, that's a long ass time. But is it? Wait a minute. Say that again. 2006, you get initiated.
2016.
Oh, 16. You said 2006.
I meant 2016.
Oh, hell no. 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 Discernment is in Mercury. That bitch just keep going in retrograde. Where we are now. We are in a retrograde in Scorpio, y'all.
If I purchase perfume from Amazon for $16 and I say you can't get this nowhere else but my shop down here in Atlanta, is my Pluto in discernment?
No, but it's in hustling. Every day we hustle.
Okay. Well, Dr. T help me out because I'm just a lowly pauper who doesn't have a doctorate. I ain't never seen a doctorate in my life.
Listen.
I don't have a doctorate. So
you don't need a doctorate in common sense. Come on now. So think about this. Anything that is worth learning takes time to learn.
It does.
Right? So just like you
But I became a high priest in 1 year.
But high.
I got my Lave Tech in the US.
That is, you know what, baby, that's great. But the thing is, you were high when you were doing it. That's why you were a high priestess. Right? Because there is no way, think about this, to learn, to study, to even to learn your spirit that walks with you takes years to do that. You know what I mean? So don't be American about this. And when I say that, Americans have a hard time. I don't care what race you are. Americans have a hard time understanding that things just don't happen when you snap your fingers, right? This capitalist way of thinking where you exchange something. So I pay, therefore I should get it back right then and there. I should be able to download that in that one exchange. I've given you my money, so I should get everything. That's not how spirit works, right? You give your money to initiate, to pay all those folks who are helping you initiate with it, and then what you get back is a lifetime of lessons that you have to learn in order to understand how to enact that initiation, right? So if one wants to call themselves a high priestess after a 1 or 2 year stint, you can do that very well. But at the end of the day, what you're actually practicing is nothing more than your own ego. Do you know what I mean? All you're doing is practice, and this really is no shade. It's like I question it. And I ask you to question that yourself. You can't. That's like me saying I got my PhD in a year. I would be pissed off if anybody told me they got their PhD. I went 4 years undergrad, 2 years master's, 7 years after that got a second master's along the way that they fucking said that they lost somehow when I was trying to teach. That's some racist shit. You know, and then got my PhD. That was a 12-year apprenticeship to be called doctor. Do you know what I mean? Like 12 years. And when I finished, I felt like I was just learning I felt like a baby. Why are you about to cry? What is?
I mean,
you about to cry
because you just told me that I was high, and I'm not a high priest. I'm just a high priest.
Yes. Because also African spirituality tells you the truth. You cannot be in an ATR and not be told the truth. Now the truth sometimes will hurt. Again, that pain lessens, right? But you have to be able to speak the truth. The thing is though, people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear their own reality that they created in their head. Your own reality versus the truth sometimes does not agree. And so again, yes, you are literally high off a bath than anything else, because you cannot become a high priest or a priestess in 2 years' time.
It's okay, so I just want to say that I can agree. Like, I mean, you know, these white people don't give us PhDs. Like, they be fucking with us in these programs. Straight up, they be doing some straight bullshit. Because
steal your ideas, present them to your face,
drop your ass from a
because
from a committee
after taking your ideas.
drop you from a committee just because they spouse is under fire for saying the word nigga.
Mistake you for the other black girl in the cohort that's 2 shades darker than you and got dreads down to their ass. All the time.
Go after you for IRB for no fucking reason. Just simply because.
They'll learn policy real quick to make sure you did the policy correctly, but they'll look the other way when it's somebody when Susie or Karen going up for a basic ass defense. Yes.
Won't nominate you for fucking fellowships.
Will blackball you on the market.
I'm not going back there.
That's why I'm worried about what you'll have to say. What you'll have to say. When I confess to you that I'm feeling some type of way. Some type of way. If I could do it all over, just start again. Baby, I would have never been just your friend. If I could start all over, get a second chance, I would listen to my heart and make you my man. Cause I don't wanna be friends. I don't wanna be friends. I don't wanna be friends.